What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to Left to Metal. Welcome to 2017. Time for a what's spinning video. Haven't done one of these in a while. Wanted to do one for my car this past week, but it was just cold. So instead, I'm going to do this one, which is going to be an all vinyl what's spinning, and then I'll do the CD what's spinning in the next week or so. Starting off with what's playing in the background, this is Dammaj. Straightforward, traditional heavy metal band. I really don't know much about these guys. This was hooked up from Brother Garino from the VC, and just very good, straightforward heavy metal. It's from the 80s, 1983, 84. This is recorded in California. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but it's kind of low, but it's just, you know, straight up standard heavy metal. You know, it's not mind-blowing, but it's really good, and I really enjoy it. And I was looking for some records I haven't spun in a while, so I pulled this one out and gave it a fresh spin, and quite enjoyed it, actually. This one came with a poster insert. Classic leather and studs look for metal. And then there's the back portion of it, lyrics, lots of cool little old school posters from the 80s. Dammaj opening up for such bands as Motorhead and Saxon and Nazareth and Vandenberg, Quiet Riot, Y&T, all sorts of bands they've opened up for. Anyhow, Dammaj, D-A-M-M-A-J. The album's called Mutiny. Obviously, this was not an 80s print pressing. I'm not even sure if this was actually pressed in the 80s. Rather, this is a 2012 reissue of the stuff that was recorded in the 80s. Next up, another reissue of a classic. This was recorded, I believe, in 82 or 83. This is ASHBURY. This is an independent album, but this thing sounds like it was recorded in 1974. It's just got that classic 70s sound, and I absolutely love this record. This is actually a CD that was given to me by Harmless Rebel Steve, and then the record was just one that I received not too long ago. I'm sure you might have seen it in the VCLT video I showed a month or two ago. And yeah, been spinning this record quite a bit, and it's just great. What is a mixture of, to me, I hear a lot of Jethro Tull, and there's no flutes, but in the music itself, the guitar playing and the vocals, you're kind of that Jethro Tull sound. I hear a little bit of Blue Oyster Cult, a whole lot of Southern rock influence, especially like the Allman Brothers and that guitar sound. And then there's even some heavier songs on here. I'd say, was it Vengeance? Kind of has that kind of a Blue Oyster Cult meets Black Sabbath kind of sound. But for the majority of the album, this is just straightforward rock and roll with some great guitar playing. I believe these guys are brothers, Randy Davis and Rob Davis. Also, you know, if you like Wishbone Ash, you might dig this too, because there's a lot of that dual guitar thing going on, mixing up the acoustic guitars and electric guitars. Fantastic reissue of an album that I never even heard of until a year or two ago. This is ASHBURY, Endless Skies. I believe it was 1983 this was released originally. Alright, let's see, next up, some thrash metal. This is one that I've been showing a lot because I've just been really into these guys recently for some reason. UK thrash band, Acid Rain. This is their, I don't know, some people call it their second album, some people call it their first full-length album. Regardless, they had Moshkinstein that came first, then there was The Fear, and just great thrash metal. I mean, just in-your-face riffing and, you know, just beat you over the head. Rhythm section, everything you want from thrash metal, these guys have it. A lot of people don't like them. They took a lot of beatings, and believe it still, they take a lot of beatings, especially from seems people that live in the UK. Just not into them because of their humor. I kind of dig their humor. I mean, you can see it even on the front cover with it. It's kind of a silly cover, but you got your UK Apple Core logo on here, and I don't know, whatever. I just really like these guys. So everybody else can get rid of the records and send them to me. I'm looking for Obnoxious, by the way, on vinyl. So. Acid Rain, The Fear, UK thrash metal. Look them up on YouTube if you haven't heard them and you're into thrash metal. They won't disappoint. Alright, a band that I've been talking about a lot in the last year. This is a 2016 reissue of Ram, Lightbringer. Man, this album is great. I'm really thinking, as much as I like some of their other albums, This might be my favorite album from Ram. This is spectacular heavy metal. Kind of has a Merciful Fates meets Sanctuary, War Dane. It's just metal, but it's got something special about it. You know, it's not standard metal. It's got something unique and charismatic about it. Something I can't even put into words. I love the vocal style. Yeah, just awesome metal from these guys. They have what, 4 or 5 albums out now. I think Subversivism, is that if that's how you say it, was their last album, and I love that album too. That's probably the closest I like, the closest one to saying, I don't know, I like them both. They're both really good, and those 2 albums are probably my 2 favorites from them so far. So Ram, from Sweden, I believe. Could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure they're Sweden, man. But yeah, traditional heavy metal. If you like Merciful Fate, you like Sanctuary, the US band, check these guys out. They won't disappoint. This is Lightbringer, High Roller Records 2016 reissue. A single that I played a few times. Just wanted to really get into this band. This is Dragon's Kiss. This is actually something that Rui Martin sent me from Portugal. And I really don't know much about these guys other than they're from Portugal, I believe. But yeah, it's just a CD single. It's just a 7-inch single, 2 songs, Somewhere Up in the Mountains, Your Time Will Come, limited to 300. This is number 128 300, and this is just straightforward new wave of traditional heavy metal. Very, very good band. And this is all I have from them, so I'm going to look into them further, and I don't know, I really like what I'm hearing here, so got to see if I can find some more from Dragon's Kiss, Somewhere Up in the Mountains. This is a classic band from Texas. This is a Back on Black. It's not really a reissue because it was never really on vinyl to begin with. This is Demonstrations in Chaos. This is the Watchtower demos. You've got recordings from 83, 87. You've got rehearsal recordings from 86, live recordings from 85. And then you have the song Meltdown from Cottage Cheese from Lips of Death, a Texas hardcore compilation. This is traditional, I don't even know if traditional is the right word. Progressive, maybe is a better word for it. Heavy metal, pushing towards thrash metal, speed metal, very technical at times. Great vocals from Jason McMaster, who of course went on to sing for the Texas band Dangerous Toys, as well as Broken Teeth. But what he did with Watchtower, very, very different from Broken Teeth or Dangerous Toys. This is very techy, very heavy, very metal. I don't know if you can see the pictures here, but there's Jason right there wearing spandex and spiked wristbands, and yeah, just very good stuff. And this was actually another one that I received as it was a trade or VCLT from EJD715 Eric Dust. So just hadn't heard it in a while. I spun it when I first received it and hadn't heard it, so I'm giving it a fresh spin since I had some time. And man, this is just great stuff. Classic band from Scotland. This is Nazareth and the NEWZ. This was, I believe, 2008 recording. This sucker is hard to find on vinyl. I picked this up in Arizona for $14, double album set, and I was like, yeah, I'll snag that. I love Nazareth, and I didn't have it on vinyl. Come home to find out that this thing is like really rare and hard to find, and selling, you know, well over $100 in most auction sites and whatnot. Regardless of how much the album is worth, it's actually a very good album. Straightforward hard rock. Love Dan McCafferty's voice on here. You know, he's aged well and he kind of still has that whiskey-soaked, gravelly voice he's always had. This is really good stuff from them. I kind of wonder if this had been released as the follow-up to Hair of the Dog, if they wouldn't become even bigger. For whatever reason, they used to go heavy and then light, and heavy and light. And this album is more on the hard rock and heavy side. You know, I'm not going to say this is heavy metal, but it's just solid hard rock from Nazareth. And like I said, Dan McCafferty sounds as good as he ever has. So, Nazareth, the NEWZ. Kind of guessing on the year. I'm thinking 2008. Might have been 2009. I don't know, somewhere around that area. And this is the last one for this edition of What's Spinning. This is a later album from Fates Warning, Metal Blade reissue on vinyl. First time on vinyl, I believe. The this is Fates Warning, more progressive rock band. They kind of moved away from the the metal that they did in their first 3-4 albums. And my favorite Fates Warning is definitely those first 4 albums. But I also like a lot of the stuff they did after that. They got a little more commercial at times. They get a little more proggy and prog rock, like on this one. I mean, what you have on here is one song, A Pleasant Shade of Grey, broken up into many, many parts. And I just haven't spun this in a while. I gave it a spin the other day while I was doing some work, and just really sounded great. This final reissue has 3 bonus tracks. It has part 2, a remix. It has part 3, live. And it has We Only Say Goodbye, soundcheck recording. And this is a gatefold 2-album set. Great stuff from Fates Warning. If you're into prog rock and you haven't heard this, check it out. Don't let the metal tag scare you. It's really not all that heavy. It's really not all that metal. It's, like I said, more on the side of straightforward prog rock. Very good stuff. So there you go. That's what I've been spinning on vinyl for the last couple days, actually. Had a day off from work on Friday. Had a day off from work today. And that's what I've been spinning as I've been doing stuff around the house. So hope you enjoyed this edition of What's Spinning. And look forward to doing the one from the car, showing off some CDs. Got plenty of stuff in store for 2017. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Keep on commenting and I'll keep on replying. That's it. God bless. Stay strong.